6 days ago, I've received an email from you that you were to meet people in Washington and you were afraid of the escalations between the West and Russia in Ukraine.
Mm.
What is new in your opinion? What is going on in terms of those people who are responsible for the policies in Ukraine in the United States?
Well, I was surprised to be called in. Um, but I guess they know we have offices around the world, so they know I got back channels in every which direction. um, and so they did mention that. They said it would be beneficial if you could possibly use your back channels. Um, and I think I managed to at least scare them into blinking. Um, I explained, look, when Khrushchev had to back down in 1962 over the Cuban Missile Crisis, a coup took place, and then Brezhnev came in. Okay, then you got the whole, the real hard line Cold War. When in '91, when Gorbachev came to power, Reagan wanted to go meet him. I was doing some work for the Reagan administration back then, so I know what actually happened. They were telling Reagan, all the neocons were against going. They did just about, most people don't realize, but they practically staged a coup against Reagan. I mean, they went to Congress telling them to overrule him. They did everything in their power to try and prevent him from even meeting Gorbachev. And, I haven't really read recent history books if they tell the truth or not. But, Reagan should get a lot of credit for standing up against the neocons. And he said, take it, stuff it, and he went. Then what happened, as I published in the book that's The Plot to Seize Russia, which is on Amazon, right in the very beginning of it, I got a hold of all the Clinton declassified documents. And so right there in the very beginning, I put the declassified document. It shows that Russia was invited to join NATO. Most people don't know that. That then sparked the Russian neocons to stage coup number 2. And they went to overthrow Gorbachev. That's when Yeltsin stood on the tank and all that, because they saw it as if he took that deal, joining NATO, it was a surrender to their arch enemies, the neocons on the other side. So what I warned them about was, and I guess I was the only one saying that, I said, if you really think you can embarrass Putin and force him out, I said, you got another thing coming. I said, because first of all, they know this is not a war with Ukraine. This is a war with NATO. And if he backs down, their neocons are likely to stage coup number 3. And what are you going to get? You're going to get nuclear war. Simple as that. All right. I said, if I have a gun and you're coming into my house and you intend to kill me, not just rob me, you intend to kill me, I'm going to shoot back. All right. And I had sources that were at the meeting between the foreign minister of China with Kalis. So I know what really happened. I don't know what the news basically said or not, if they ever told the truth. But she was trying to get China to tell Russia to surrender, get out of Ukraine, etc. And he said to her, um, he said, "We are not prepared to see Russia, lose." And she was kind of surprised. And he said, "Because we know we would be next." And so I knew what took place in all the back channels and stuff. So I said, I think maybe that's why they called me in and why they actually did listen for once. So I got a text message. I think it was yesterday morning saying, "Look, negotiations are going on. Good. Thank you." Now, the EU has paused giving Russian assets to Zelensky. I said, that's got to stop. And, um, I did ask when I was called in, I said, is this sanctioned or is this something as an opposition to Trump or whatever? And I was told no, it was sanctioned and that I was approved to come in. I mean, I had clearance anyhow. I mean, I knew that, but so that was encouraging. And so I was actually asked that Putin would accept. And I was surprised they didn't even have one. um, I guess I should relentless. Everything they look at is always evil. I mean, they're still preaching the same nonsense from Khrushchev. A copy of the plan that I presented found its way to Putin as well. And then on T that they will not attack NATO. I was dealing with. And I think I first had to convince them that this was not a war with Ukraine. This is a war with NATO. So I escalated it up, and I think that's basically what they began. The rules that I put in was that I mean, I've been dealing with governments for 50 years, and I call it wordsmithing. Maggie kept Britain out of the euro. And then
Martin, it seems that we have some sort of problem with your connection, with your internet connection, because I don't know what's going on, but can you check it out? If
Can you hear me or you can't hear me?
I can hear you, but it's just freezing. Your picture is freezing. You're cutting off and during the talk, and yeah.
Are we live or you want?
Yeah, we are live. We are on live.
Or do we go back?
No, we are on live.
We're live. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. I think
we are or
you
we're
can,
not.
I don't know if your connection. Just check it out. If your connection, if you can switch. If you have two different, operators there that you can switch between them. And
Yeah, now I have three internet. Let me see. Um, hmm. Hmm.
do you have, just in case, do you have any sort of app running in the background, or nothing of that
Not that
sort
I
is running?
know of. I didn't set this up, so um,
You can log out and log in if that would be helpful. I don't know.
all right. Set. Hmm. Oh, it says Reddington Beach. I
Yeah,
tried switching to
yeah,
a
it's
different
good. It's getting
one.
better. You can, yeah, it's getting better. It seems. Yeah, yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So go
Should
ahead,
we try
Marvin. You
again?
were, yeah, no. You were describing. You were in the middle of your, explanation of what's going on in Washington.
Yeah, I um, as I explained that I think I scared them about understanding that this is not a war with Ukraine. This is a war with NATO. And um, if you're going to do international um, work, you always have to put the hat on from the other side and look through, what they see. It's not what you think. Um,
Yeah,
so I think I can, made them understand that. Um, and I mean, that's a very important lesson that it seems that most people don't get. Um, but, so I warned them about, a possible third coup.
mm,
And this is going to get much worse. All right. And you have to understand, what's going on here. So the proposal I put forward is one, you accept um, Putin's offer to do a tunnel between Russia and Alaska. You need to give him a win. Secondly, The big problem is the EU, not Russia. And so I think that's why you now have seen Lavrov come out saying, we guarantee we're not going to attack NATO. And the EU has backed off on handing Russian assets to Zelensky. And what I put in the proposal